here. We appreciate your faithfulness, your full support, and for always keeping faith with us right here. This is the first installment of Morning Spring for the week, for the month of March, and for the week right here. And this is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. We hope to have full cooperation, a robust month, a full, beautiful month, a peaceful month, a month without killings, without kidnappings. But, well, that's our prayer. And we hope that you're always, in good shape and in good health. My name is Temitope Ajijola, welcoming you to the show that drives public discourse. This is where we keep you abreast of situational happenings in and around you, and then to give you quality analysis from the perspectives of our diverse and array of in-house analysts right here. It promises to be a great month and a great show. Good morning, Femi. Welcome on board.
Good morning, Tokwe. Thank you very much, and happy new month, dear esteemed viewers as well. It's a new month, just as Tokwe has said, and I say a big amen to that prayer, where we'll have a breath of fresh air. These banditry, killings, kidnappings will cease at least. We're marching forward, and it's a beautiful morning and a pleasure to be here on Morning Spring here on Western Spring Television. My name is Olufemi. I'll be hoping the month will be a great month for us right here in the studio and for you, our dear esteemed viewers watching. Good morning.
All right, there have been lots happening in the world, and it's not just in the country. For some time now, the talks around the U.S., Israel, Iran, and all of those, and now it has come to that part where we now have the attacks here and there on Iran. Well, the North is in a full-blown crisis right now. We just hope that, however it is, it's already on the papers that the war is going to affect, fuel prices in Nigeria. We just hope that somehow Nigeria will not be on the receiving end of some of these, crises going on. When it was Russia, Ukraine, we felt it here. Now it is US, Israel, Iran. We're still hearing talks that we're going to feel it. Which of these wars is going to really benefit Nigeria? Where will Nigeria benefit, from all of these things? We do not want war in the world. We hope that we can have peace. But even at that, there are countries, that are still having reprieve, that are still making things, a living out of all of this. But then, whatever it is, we still have, even with us right here in Nigeria, insurgency. People are still dying. People are dying of stampede, from arms giving during this period. A lot of things are happening, but we hope that we can have a respite from all of this. We can have peace. We can have and move forward, good progress in all of this. I'll be taking a quick break at this time. When we return, it will be newspaper review segment. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, and it's time to check the papers. The front page of the Punch newspapers this morning: crude-backed loans gulped 8.36 trillion naira of 2025 revenue. Crude-backed loans gulped 8.36 trillion naira of 2025 revenue. That's just besides the nameplate right there. You can find that story, more details of it on page 35 of the Punch this morning. Now let's check out what the banner headline says. 2027 polls won't be 100% perfect. INEC chair warns 2027 polls won't be 100% perfect. INEC chair wants. Let's check out the riders. INEC reviews party rules as new electoral act sparks regulatory overhaul. INEC reviews party rules as new electoral act sparks regulatory overhaul. Amukpito says network glitches. Others hampered real-time e-transmission of FCT polls. Amukpito says network glitches. Others hampered real-time e-transmission of FCT polls. And this is the fear of several other people. People have talked about this, the proviso in that the Electoral Act amendment that given manual would give the officiating electoral personnel the legal ground or the excuse to say that, oh, the reason why we eventually switched to manual is because there was network glitches. I mean, there have been, cases of network glitches and all of that. And that is the fear of several Nigerians, saying that if that proviso is not there, they will find every way to make sure that they transmit the election results electronically and in real time. And that is the fear of several Nigerians, and that's what's right here on the face of the Punch. As one of the writers, Amukpito says, network glitches, others hampered real-time e-transmission of FCT polls. All right. And then he's also warning now that 2027 polls won't be 100% perfect. Well, I think several Nigerians know that, that no election anywhere is 100%. But what people are agitating, and that I know that the INEC chair knows, and all of the whole body of INEC knows, that people are not asking for 100% perfect election. People are asking for an election that represents, Nigerians. That's election that says this is the outcome we expected, because this is where we put our votes. So the talks around there won't be 100%, that's beside the point. I think it's only a delusional Nigerian that would say, yes, there can be anything 100%. Everyone knows that there can be nothing that there are only a few things in life that can give you 100%. And so that talk is unnecessary, but we just want you to do your job. Make sure that Nigerians' votes count. They know that this is where we have put our votes. This is the person that has emerged, and that all those misrepresentation of figures, all those figure altering and all of those on Form EC8, people do not want that anymore. And if we're still having that in FCT polls, what's going to happen when we begin to have the general elections, NAS elections, all of those? So we just want, a good representation, and that's where INEC chair, he promised us, a better election cycle and all of those, election conduct and all of those that we've been seeing before. And that's what we want him to keep on saying. All these talks around perfect elections, we know we cannot have perfect elections, and that shouldn't be the talks around now. Just give Nigerians, the confidence that yes, their votes are going to count. And the last writer there says PDP ADC kickoff e-registration. APC mulls deadline extension. PDP ADC kickoff e-registration. APC mulls deadline extension. All right, that's on that. And we can see the picture right here. It says rescue workers and military personnel at the scene where several people were killed, by an Iranian missile strike in Beit Shemesh, Israel, as people take shelter in a parking garage in Tel Aviv on Sunday. And photos, you can see the photos right there. All right, still talking about war, but this is happening. Those pictures are from Israel right there. All right, to the bottom strip of the paper, FAN's cashless policy rollout sparks airport gridlock. FAN's cashless policy rollout sparks airports gridlock. You can find the details of that on page 43. And on page 9, school owners fear 700,000 Ogun students may miss West African school certificate examinations was. All right, and there, federal government, AFC Inc., $1.3 billion mining investment deal. And to the top strip of the paper, Army Major, 10 terrorists killed in foiled military house attack. Army Major, 10 terrorists killed in foiled military base attack. Page 34, Tinubu convenes, page 24 rather, Tinubu convenes Police Council today to confirm diesel. Iran-US conflict may raise Nigeria's fuel prices. Iran-US conflict may raise Nigeria's fuel prices. And those are the headlines and the concerns right there on the face of the Punch newspaper for this morning.
All right, checking through the Nation newspaper this morning with the banner headline that reads, ICPC recovers wiretapping equipment from El Rufai. With the riders here, we got warrants to detain ex-governor for 14 days, and he declined to cooperate with investigators. Moving away from there, below that we have recapitalization. Banks head for 6 trillion naira closure. Recapitalization, banks head for 6 trillion naira closure there. And on the bottom strip we have Fortune University unveils fee package for students. You can check that on page 7. And the federal government, APC, signed $1.3 billion alumni deal. That's on page 7 as well of the Nation newspaper. However, above the nameplates there, we have this regarding Dangote. What Dangote traded for Nigeria's industrialization. With below that, our legacy is to provide what we need. You can check details of that on page 18 of the Nation newspaper. And beside it, we have Nigerians get travel advisory on Middle East, page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Below that, attempt to Korea baby's body blocked at Moto Park. That's on page 35 of the Nation newspaper this morning. And these are some of the headlines, as you can see them on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, moving to Daily Sun newspaper this morning. All right, let's check out Daily Trust newspaper for this morning. And here, the banner headline says, Iran strike fallout. Daily Trust newspaper. Iran strike fallout. Shiite protest erupts in North. Iran strike fallout. Shiite protests erupt in North. All right, to the lower strip of the paper, banditry, over 300,000 displaced in Niger. Bago, banditry, over 300,000 displaced in Niger, according to Bago. And the rider says terrorists kill 15 in fresh attacks. Terrorists kill 15 in fresh attacks. To the top strip of the paper, just below the nameplate, we may not be able to achieve 100% election at Mukbito. 4 die in Katsina, Ramadan arms stampede. 4 die in Katsina, Ramadan arms stampede. Chaos at Lagos, Abuja airports as Federal Airports Authority as FAN begins cashless policy. Chaos at Lagos, Abuja airports as FAN begins cashless policy right there. And you can see the pictures as well from the budding war in Iran. A drone view of the site of an Iranian missile strike on a residential building in Tel Aviv, Israel at the weekend. And another says rubble and debris covering destroyed vehicle following a strike on the neighborhood of the Iranian capital Tehran, Iran. Rubble and debris covering destroyed vehicle following a strike on the neighborhood of the Iranian capital Tehran in Iran. And children exploring the wreckage of a rocket reportedly fired by Iran and shot down by Israeli forces. You can see sights from the war right there. You can see sights from the war right there. And those are the headlines right there as captured on Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, going through the Daily Sun newspaper this morning and checking through the headlines that we have there. Daily Sun newspaper. Primaries, ADC, PDP orders await implosion in APC, with the rider here hope to benefit from defections of losers as ruling party holds congresses. Below that on the bottom strip, FGAFC signs $1.3 billion alumni deal. Beside that, rate cuts chair fades as sovereign debt nears 158 trillion naira. NBA CIFC FIN call for infusion of forensics in 2027 elections. And beside that, 4 die in Katsina Ramadan arms distribution stampede. All right, beside the nameplate on the upper strip there, Niger Delta activists demand review of Executive Order 9, with the rider says gas flaring penalty framework now for revenue generation. Check details of that report on page 27 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Below that, Nigeria's internet nightmare. Subscribers' anger deepens for paying for 5G, getting 2G. I take that again. Nigeria's internet nightmare. Subscribers' anger deepens for paying for 5G, getting 2G. You can get details of that there on the front page of the Daily Sun, and the entire stories around the headlines, as you can see them on the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning.
All right, those are the headlines right that we have for you right here on the show this morning. A quick breather. When we return, the conversation begins. Stay with us.